And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds. And so the fact that you exist at all is against stupefying odds.
Oh my gosh. Oh. The battle continues. The road continues. And it is a long road. A long one. A long, strenuous road. But I am in love with it. I adore it. I cherish it. Gotta cherish the road. The process. Oof. They really need to fix the matchmaking. Hold on. It's freaking, I guess Europe. It's daytime over there, right? Oh, maybe Asia. Yeah. Boom. I really need to yap more. How do I talk about things I care about on stream? I don't know. What are things that I care about and really like? Hmm. I like urban planning. I like games. I like movies. I like some sports. I like food. I like cooking. Uh, okay. Those are a lot of topics. Hmm. How do I combine those stuff? Got it. Ear, what's up? My bad. I tried to go off the wall. It didn't work. I save. You can pass, you know. Damn. That's fine. That's fine. So there's this concept in urban planning, right? Where let's say you have a city full of like 10, 20, 30 million people even. And hold on. Let me Okay, cool. I'm muted. I don't want them to just constantly listen to me. Damn, we down 2-0. So there's this concept in urban planning, right? Where you can have like 10, 20, 30 million people in a city just living, you know? And compared to a city with a lot of vehicles that make a lot of noise, you, bro, two times in a row? She, so compared to a city that can make a lot of noise, but well, no, how do I explain this? If you have a lot of people use vehicles that make a lot of noise, right? It's going to be annoying to live in that city, okay? But conversely, if you have people use vehicles that don't make a lot of noise or like to move around, like bicycles, E-bikes, probably scooters. Uh, and they have like options of moving around. Subway, train systems, rail, light rail, buses, maybe e-buses, electric buses, stuff like that. Give them options, so they're not choked into using, one or two. Funny. Give them options so they're not choked into using like one or two options of moving around. Like you don't want them sort of stranded in a, a desert of strip malls and fast food restaurants. You know what I mean? Like you gotta give them you gotta give them options and also amenities that make things. Uh, wow, that was a clutch save. Clutch save. You gotta give them options and amenities that make sense. That's wild. That's a good save though. So how these cities do that? Cities that like find ways to make their city quieter, well, is they give them options. And so bikes, right? E-bikes. Cities like Amsterdam and other cities in the Netherlands. Bike utopia, by the way. I know they have a lot of bikes that are stolen, but like bike utopia, by the way. Okay, if you're watching this, that's Netherlands is like a flat bike utopia. No joke. All seriousness. They build stuff like underground biking parking garages just for bikes, solely for bikes. It's crazy. Okay, there you go. I got time. Maybe we can put something together. But yeah, like you could have 10, 20, 30 million people in a city and it can be quiet if you give them choices and options of moving around in vehicles that don't make as much noise. Crazy how that works. Insane how that works, but it works, right? Oh boy. Oh, you gotta be. That's wild how you missed that. You do too much. You might just lose it all. Don't do too much. Just try to keep it simple. Another urban planning concept. Ah, wow. How? And I guess it depends on how it's used, because we do have roundabouts in America, but it depends on how it's used, right? So, man, typically you want your roundabouts to have, you want your streets, roads or whatever, to have roundabouts that they sort of keep the flow of traffic moving, right? So let's say you're driving down the road, you got like two lanes going straight on one side, on the left side, say two lanes coming the opposite direction, coming and going. You have an intersection. One, two, three, four. Four entryways in your intersection. You have traffic lights for each way, for each lane, or not for each lane, but like for each direction, northwest, south, east, west. And you constantly have people in their cars coming and going, stopping at the red light, speeding past the lights during the yellow and green lights. But you constantly feel like it's you constantly feel like you're being slowed down by the traffic lights themselves, like they're too slow or whatever. Well, we want to fix that is a roundabout. Instead of having just uh, a T-shaped intersection, where you want to have a roundabout where people can yield each other slowly, lessen the speed limit, just move the car slowly, and have them all yield each other to keep the traffic flowing. Sort of like to reduce like the crampiness of it, of the whole process there. Now this can work in some ways. In some ways, it can't work. I guess depends on how you do it, right? But it can definitely increase the safety of of your road and the people that are driving on the road and the interactions that take place on the road. So a good example of that is a city in Indiana known as Carmel, Indiana. There was this mayor. I think his name was Brainerd. I think Jim Brainerd. I forget what his name was, honestly. But yeah, Carmel, Indiana. They built, I think, in the late '90s, early 2000s. They built a ton of roundabouts throughout their city, throughout their town, because they wanted less traffic fatalities, and that was one way to do it: roundabouts. So if you want safety, just do what Carmel, Indiana did. It's, and he was a Republican mayor, by the way. At least at the time he was. Yeah. I guess now he wouldn't be as. Wow, he missed it. I'll be goalie. Yes, roundabouts are a really good way. Now, damn, I gotta focus. Ugh, I'm yapping, and then I'm not focusing. Yeah, roundabouts are a good way to decrease traffic fatalities. Once you like start getting into the weeds of urban planning, you start to realize just how I don't know, just how I guess ghetto, so to speak, your city is designed, and your small town is designed, or town is designed, and how much better it could be if they just do a couple things here or there. And you kind of wonder why aren't they doing a couple things here and there to to fix whatever's going on in your town, on your roads. Really, it's really eye opening. But yeah. Oh, damn. It's extremely eye opening. Like, if you want to get even more complicated with the roundabouts, there's even more uh, things that you can look at. So go to like the Netherlands. They have these roundabouts where they have bikes on them, and also people, pedestrians walking. So they have lanes for people walking in the roundabout. They have lanes for people biking in the roundabout as well. So not only are cars yielding each other, they're also yielding or looking out for people that are walking, and also people that are biking as well or on their scooters as well. So it's like a triple transport sort of thing. Really cool. Oh my gosh, they just quit on me. Wow, that's wild. I'll just send it. I'll just send it. Just send it down. I'll try to be goalie. I don't know how. Ugh, bro, it just feels glitchy. I don't know what's going on. Response time is just laggy for some reason. What else is in urban planning? There's urban planning is huge because you're designing how people live, how people commute, how people move around. It's very it can get complicated. It really can. Mm. There was this documentary I watched about flooding, right? And basically, there's this like country that was struggling that just so happened to have their most major cities in places where uh, uh, flooding would most likely occur and get a whole lot worse. So they had to figure out a solution for it, and they found out they could just come up with a sort of like a climate solution, so to speak, to where they had these plants that they put in the water and around their city that would soak up a lot of the water, other rainwater, that would overflow into their city, into their sewer system as well. So that was another cool thing that I watched. I think I've seen that like in a lot of different places, like sort of sponge cities. Really interesting. Ugh. Hmm. I guess it would make sense for like a lot of cities that probably on the East Coast that suffer from hurricanes and whatnot. Probably go move towards like a sponge aesthetic, like a sponge aesthetic for their towns, just so they can soak up a lot of the water that they got, the overflow that they have going on. You know, these take some insight from countries that. Am I? Oh, okay. I'm not alone. We're missing a guy. This sucks. He's gonna pass. Yeah, he's gonna. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh, we got somebody. Cool. Don't get out of goal. Ugh, what are you doing? Just pass it. Come on. Oh, here we go. Damn. What? Bro, I can't. No way. Pass, pass, pass. That's a terrible pass. Come on. What? Give me that. How did he keep the ball? Thank you. You got to stay in the box. What are you doing? Good save. I'm going to just go for goal. What? That is insane, bro. Are you kidding me right now? Dude, that's crazy, dog. How is that not? How is that not in? I don't understand how it wasn't in. Oh, dude. Oh my gosh. Where is he? What are you doing? Ah, that was in. This is crazy. I don't know. We just can't get in the net. We just can't get in the net. What the? How? Send it away. Send it away. What are you doing? Send it away. What are you doing? Jesus. This guy's nuts. There we go. Finally. Oh, man. Housing is also another thing, too, and within urban planning. I guess it'd be more architecture. I mean, I'm not really like the architect type of guy, but I guess technically I would, if I was urban planner, I'd be an architect of city design and town planning, town design. A town architect or a city architect, I guess would be, I guess technically another name for it. Yeah. Huh. Well, in terms of housing, there's this like concept of if you're living in an apartment building, right, and you have loud neighbors, a good way to like suppress the noise would be to have it to where you have thicker walls, and then sort of a barrier within the building itself to separate one side of the building from the other, so to speak. Like that's a concept that exists. So sort of challenge the the sort of noise complaints in regards to like architecture, apartment buildings, which I think is really cool. It's gonna pass. What? Oh, that's free. That's free. That's free. That's free. That's free. No, you get to go. You get. Okay, cool, 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 cool. I was like, man, bro, stay in that box. Don't be too greedy. I have so many books about urban planning. So many. Oh my gosh. I got books by Jeff Speck. I have books by and the thing about like urban planning is that like if all the books that you read, right, at least American urban planning, what are you doing? He just he just stood there. Come on, dude. Okay, what was I saying? Oh yeah, right. So yeah, books, right? Yeah, I have like a litany of books. So many, right? Boom, go crazy. Uh, I literally went crazy getting so many urban planning books. But the cool thing about urban planning books is that the authors all reference each other, like a like the sort of like I guess like a sort of club, so to speak, like an urban planning club, like a profession club, which is really cool to see. So this is a book called like Walkable City, right, by Jeff Speck. Sort of breaks down into simple enough rules that are easy enough to follow. If you're interested in the topic, right? At least in America, I guess it would apply everywhere, depending on uh, the city. But yeah, I guess it applies. It applies everywhere, I guess. Well, in terms of like the standards and code, America mainly. So yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna just keep this and send it, and we're gonna win. First one in the night. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, but like they all reference each other when they write these books because all of the information is so valuable. It's just too valuable to where someone ultra trail, uh, to where someone's already did a lot of the research, or a lot of the research is already there. So it's like, why not just reference? And a lot of new research is being done already. Ranked features not available. What features not available? What? Or is ranked not available? Hello. Weird. But yeah, I got uh, books by Jeff Speck. I have books by Charles Marone Jr., who's a electrical engineer. He studied electrical engineering first, and then he switched to transportation engineering. Or no, I think traffic. Actually, no, yeah, transportation engineering, right? And he wrote a book called what was this book called? Confessions of a Recovering Engineer, and it's basically about city design, a lot of the standards and that engineers have to utilize, basically use in America historically, and how those standards don't really keep people as safe as they should, right? And in some cases, cause more traffic fatalities than that they claim to prevent. In a lot of cases, really great stuff. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, urban planning is really great. At least I think it is. I don't know. Boom. What other books I have? Uh, there's one I haven't finished. I'd say it's called what's it called? It's a book by. It's kind of. It's a somewhat of an old book, like by Andres Duwani, another city planner or designer. It's called Suburban Nation. Basically, talking about the design of the suburbs, the financial aspect of it, and how the suburbs are very expensive to maintain. Oh, that's so nice. See, that's what I'm talking about. Are these guys ship Japanese? What is? I mean, Southeast Asia. Hey, Mac Derp is back too. Cool. Boom. Nice. Uh, I'm goalie now. I have to lock in. This is this is the big leagues. Damn. We're good. We're good. We're good. Why am I wide awake when I should be tired? What is it like? Man. Yeah, Suburban Nation's another book I haven't finished yet. It talks about like the design of the suburbs, how they came to be in America, and all that. You know, nice defense. Honestly, I don't think I should talk about it as much since I haven't finished reading it. I think I want to finish reading it first. Then I can like yap about it. You know. Bum, 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 bum. Ah, damn. They're really good passers. They know how to play the game. They know how to play the game. Bum, 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 bum. The heck? Oh, oh, nice pass. Nice. Cheeky. Very cheeky. But yeah, I guess if there's like a perfect city, there's no perfect place to live. I mean, there really isn't. Everything always has its downsides, but I mean, there's better places than others. Like, I guess some of my favorite cities on the planet would be like, oh wow, I don't think I've seen that animation before, like an ocean animation. Interesting, very interesting. Don't know how they kept the ball and without getting. Oh wow, they just gave up. Okay. They had two goals. They just gave up. Okay, whatever. They said, "Screw it. What's gonna happen here?" Yeah, they said, "Screw it." Yeah. No, the goalie said, "No, we still in this." It's like mutiny. Oh wow, that's funny. That is hilarious. They're just tired of losing. They're tired of losing. You can never give in. I had a match once. We came back from like 4 goals down, and we somehow were able to win 7-6. Wow, both of them get. That's crazy. Yo, that is crazy, dog. Yeah, and these guys are from Southeast Asia. Okay, that's where these guys are from. These guys just threw in the towel. They know when to quit and just move on. I get you. I get it. I get it. Sometimes you got to do that. Hey, that's 2 wins. What was I saying? Yeah, favorite city in terms of planet. Well, I guess there's like different aspects of it, right? In terms of transportation, in terms of like walkability, in terms of uh, convenience. I guess I don't know. There's a lot of them that are up there. Cleanliness too. I mean, oof. New York is definitely not in the top. New York needs to work on the cleanliness aspect of the city. But they have a lot of amenities, a lot of food, a lot of stuff that you can do there. So there's an entertainment. There's a lot of stuff in New York. Business. I mean, yeah, a lot of businesses. So New York has a lot to offer. But cleanliness is probably one they got to, especially in the subway system. You got to get that squared away. And there's another thing about the subway system that they have, the metro. Or no, is it called the metro or is it called the what's it called? MTA, right? Like metro, MTA, whatever. They gotta like, they gotta put borders on their, like, in front of their subway, something to keep people from falling into the tracks, right? Like I've seen that in other countries. It makes so much sense. Like, it's such a safety hazard. Why not have some sort of, I don't know, like something that doesn't break to or malleable to just stop people from falling on the tracks. Guardrails, something, anything other than the train itself. A lot of other countries and a lot of cities in other countries have that exact thing. Boom. In terms of like bikeability, I guess I would say definitely like a lot of the Dutch cities, a lot of the cities like Amsterdam or Delft or Eindhoven, or there's just one city that's a lot smaller in the Netherlands. I forgot what it's called, but I don't know if it's Harlem or. But it was built. solely with bikes in mind. It was like the original design of the city. It was designed for bikes to move people around on bikes, just bikes alone. Like I forget what city it was called. I think it was Harlem, maybe. I don't know. Maybe a Dutch person can tell me if they ever see this. I'll probably just look it up later. Honestly, I always do stuff like that. I don't remember stuff in the moment, so I look it up later, and I remember later, and I'm like, oh crap! I could have just looked. I could have just. That's what it was. That happens with a lot of different things. But yeah, in terms of bikeability, Netherlands has to be like number one on the planet. They have underground parking garages. Can you imagine having an underground parking garage just for bicycles? Like that's crazy. That's almost had that one. That's that's nuts. Man, I feel like my goalie is just slow in terms of jumping. Like I thought that was a good response time. Look at this. Like what else can I do here? I mean, that's just like what else can I do? I'm right in front of the ball. Am I not? I don't know. There you go. Oh, not bad. Is that a bad pass? Yeah, that's a bad pass. A bit too far. A bit too far ahead of him. What? How did I not grab that? How did I not at least deflect that? Send it, send it. Send it, send it, send it. Ah, come on. Dude. That okay, I'm gonna just grab it. How did you get ahead of me? Yeah, in terms of bikeability, uh, Netherlands number one. What else? So walkability. Walkability? I guess they're all pretty on much on par with each other. Most cities that are walkable are. I mean, especially all over Europe, they're all walkable. They all have courtyards. You know, a lot of space. Give a lot of space for people to walk. Sidewalks are huge. Okay, so send it, send it, send it. Damn. Yeah, I need better aim. What else? So cleanliness. Definitely some of the Asian countries, like Japan, the cleanliness is just top notch. Japan and Korea and China, the cleanliness of the. How did he get that from me? What? I blew right by him. Like the cleanliness in those South Asian countries are just top notch. They're like the best in the world, pretty much. Like they care so much about it. Boom. Ah, cleanliness of their subways, the safety, fast and efficient. In terms of fast, like time efficiency, Germany has a lot to learn. Apparently, the Germans do not like their. At least I've heard, like the Germans just don't like their transportation system in terms of like time. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Like the trains are always late. How? Damn it! I wanted a chip like I wanted to like launch it in the air. Like a lob. Why is the ball doing that? Wait, what? I did. Did you guys just see that? Like the ball's moving on its own. Like how is it doing that? Either this is like extremely laggy because of the maybe it's the connection, like the server itself. Maybe I don't know. It's weird. Oh, careful now. Here we go. Bro, just give me a chance, dude. Yeah, cleanliness, Southeast Asian countries, number one in terms of cleanliness. Uh, what else? Ooh, how about nah, too far. I guess subway systems. Probably China, to be honest with you, because their subway system is just large. It needs to be because they have a billion people. It's vast. We have less than 1 minute. Come on, guys. You guys got to score that. What? How did they get? This is crazy. Like the lag is insane. I don't understand. Everybody's glitching. Thanks for the follow, Max. Yeah, subway systems definitely China. They're so fast and efficient, and they're so vast. It's like a it's like a spider web, like a it's like that meme where you got well, I guess it's not like that meme. Oh my gosh. Oh, I had a shot. Oh no. GG's. Oh, pass it, pass it, pass it, pass it. Yeah, GG's. Yeah, it's like that meme where Charlie from uh what's that show? Damn it. Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where he's just standing at that board. He's looking, and he looks like he's going crazy about all the lines and ideas that he's drawing on the board. It's kind of like that. Like it's just like it's so big and vast. Like they really built all of that underneath the ground. Like what? Crazy. Yeah, subway system, China on top. Now, if you ask me about like light rail, I guess, or no, tram system, probably either Switzerland because of how no, well, Norway's pretty nice too. I don't know. I guess I'm just fascinated with the like the trams that they have that goes on the grass, and I've seen that in countries like Norway, so a city like Oslo. I've seen that in places like Denmark, Switzerland, sort of the Nordic countries. I'm sure they have them elsewhere around Europe too, but I have not seen. They probably do have them in Asia, but I guess I haven't seen them. I guess because I usually there's like in China, like I've seen there's just a lot of traffic on the roads, so many people driving, right? It's sort of like a mix. There's going to be places where it looks like America in terms of like their road system, and there's going to be places where it looks like I guess more Tokyo-ish, Europe-ish, where it's walkable, it's bikeable. They have a lot of greenery, trees separating the roads that the cars are driving on from the bikes and scooters and e-bikes and such, and people walking as well. So there's a lot of different stuff going on there. You can definitely tell that there's like two, I guess, worlds, so to speak, in terms of their planning, but they are working on it. Like they are working on it, which is really cool. There's a lot of progress being made, and it's good. Like I guess when it comes to urban planning, and in terms of people from the consumer aspect of it, or the people like living aspect of it, it's good to see the progress being made as you're living in a place. It's really good to see the progress. A lot of people complain about stuff, potholes or whatever. You want to see stuff happen. You know, it's very reassuring. It sucks when you don't see stuff happen or change at all. Wow. Yo, he just that was in the air for a minute. Okay, we're okay. We gotta change. We gotta change. We gotta change. That's you gonna let him score from half court? Like, come on, dude. That's crazy, dog. That is crazy. What was I talking about again? I talked about cleanliness. Talked about specific transportation in terms of like trams. One that some that I like. I talked about. Hmm. Oh, I gotta be careful. They got this guy in the middle. Ah, damn. That's that. I'm bad. My bad. My bad. I don't know why I didn't. The animation didn't happen. Okay. I wish there was like a basic save animation where you don't have to dive. You know what I'm saying? It's just past you. Okay. There's no one there. Where is everybody? Are they not in their positions? Oh my gosh. I'm passing to no one. Uh, what else? Hmm. How about like in terms of like the high speed rail? That's a wow. That's a tough one. Like Europe has the whole continent of Europe basically has a decent high speed rail. I'd say. At least they have high speed rail. America is just it's not that fast. You know, America they have a long way to go, and the alternatives that they bring aren't as efficient. You know, like in terms of being a good replacement just for moving a vast amount of people to a lot of different places. You know, like you need trains. It's like planes are nice for for the air, but you need stuff for the the surface. You know what I'm saying? And people are going to be like, "Oh, AI cars or EV cars." Yeah, EVs are cool, but you don't want to build your whole. You don't want to plan your whole city off of just using EVs. You know, you don't want to choke people into using one option, like we currently have. People use like in America, you really only have one or two options of moving around, and it's like a car, a truck, or a bus, maybe that comes every 30 something minutes, if that. So, how, how, I swore I got that ball. Something's going on. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's my controller. It's a good block. We are just playing defense right now. Yeah, people need options. They don't want to feel like choked. Oh, that's unfortunate. And they also need walkability. So walkability, right? So walkability. I guess pretty much any of them, any of those cities, any of those countries are good at walkability because at least they offer people an option to use their legs, right? How is that happening? Uh, it's just so glitchy. Maybe it's the server. I don't know. My game is breaking apart. This is so weird. Ah, oh, that's that. Mm-mm. Yikes! Got dusted. I'm barely in bronze, but I'm also level 41. Hey, at least I'm leveling up, sort of, kind of, ish. Yeah, yeah, I guess I say a lot of those. I don't think there's a favorite country in terms of walkability for me, because any of them can offer it, right? New York has it, right? Now, America doesn't have a lot of them, right? But in terms of like the rest of the planet, yeah, there's plenty. There's plenty. There's countless. All over the planet. There's countless. Ah, ah. Now in America, a lot of them would say, in like a counterpoint to designing places like that are walkable, that they would say that their property values will go down or something. But it's not really the case though, because a place that's designed like New York or New Jersey or like Hoboken, New Jersey, well, the homes are like extremely expensive, right? You know, so I guess some of the reason for that is just, well, they're not building enough for everybody. They're just simply not in all the metropolitan areas and rural areas. They're just not building enough. At least not building enough the type of homes that people can afford. So, like workforce housing, stuff like that. Whereas in countries like Asia, Southeast Asia, they're building a ton. They're also building upward. I've noticed they just build upward. They don't spread out as much. They build upward. So let's say you have people like, you can see it too. Like you can see like YouTube channels or TikTok channels or whatever, Instagram. You can see people living in towers and just overseeing like public parks. They're so high up in the air. Like this is one. What's his name? Colin X China. Right. He does China videos. Right. And he constantly shows where the apartment he lives in China with his family. And it's this apartment building that has that's you look out the window and it's a basically a park, so to speak, like connected to the apartment, and it's on top of a parking garage. So there's an underground parking garage underneath the apartment that if you go into, you can walk to one side of it and end up on the other side of the complex. Is insane. And it's very big too. And there's a lot of greenery. There's a lot of trees, a lot of places you can walk, walk your dog or whatever. Nice. Finally getting a save. Finally. Woo. I guess like a similar thing in America would be just uh, like one of those apartment complexes with like a courtyard in the middle. So you have the apartment building, right? And there's space within the apartment building for like a small courtyard. But the one that I'm talking about in China, that small courtyard is not small. It's huge. It could be a whole like football field. Well, maybe not football. Maybe like 3/4 of a football field, basically. So what, like 70 yards big, wide. Like it can be maybe even bigger than that, to be honest. Ugh, too late. Too late to that one. But yeah, like it's like a combination of a dog park, a regular public park, a playground for your kids or whatever, a bunch of different things. How? Okay, I don't know what's going on. Like that ball was mine. Like what's going on here? Like I don't know what's like. See, what is that? What's going on? I'm not doing anything. I don't understand. I just don't understand. It's just the ball's just moving on its own accord. How like what is my controller okay? That's weird. It's like skipping. I don't know why it's doing that. Yeah. Yeah, if you want to learn a lot more about like China, uh, America as well, because he lives in America. Colin X China on TikTok and on YouTube as well. Very informative about in terms of like city planning as well, the cleanliness of some of these Asian cities and countries, the convenience that they offer. Maybe a little bit higher next time. Yeah, Colin X China is really great. What else about urban planning I find interesting? Oh man, I talked about walkability. I talked about oh, somebody just followed on Twitch. Thanks for the follow. Follow. I've been reading. I have not been reading chat, by the way. I'm really sorry about that. I don't have chat open. My fault. Light Rue 2. Thanks for the follow. Thanks. Appreciate it. Oh, right. Amenities. I mean, what else can you say about amenities? Restaurants. I mean, I thought I had it. What? What is Am I? What is happening? I think it's the server. Maybe I'm just too far away. I live in America. I'm using a Southeast Asian server for this game, so I mean, it makes sense if it's wonky, you know. And the game has only been out like a couple months, so I'll give it that. The devs probably have they're working behind the scenes to just make this as good as they can. So okay, in there. Oh, that was a good shot too. Oh, walk in, Nagi. Damn. By the white-haired grandpa. Saishiro. Saishiro. Nice. What a nice name. Saishiro. Saishiro. Yeah. Amenities are like probably one of the greatest things you can have in a walkable city. I can think like probably the most popular like city walkable city that with amenities is definitely Tokyo. Probably like Japan has a lot of those cities where they just have vending machines everywhere, even in rural areas. I've heard or I've seen. Just they just plop down vending machines all over the place. Of course, they have their 7-Eleven. You can go like 24/7. You know, not the same 7-Eleven in America. Definitely not the same 7-Eleven. Absolutely not. I got crystals. Those crystals kind of look like chrono crystals from Dragon Ball Legends, by the way. But I mean, that's beside the point. I honestly could talk all day about urban planning. Yeah, it's not that popular, but I mean, I like it. I don't know. I got a ton of books on it too. Just sitting there catching dust. Dusty books. Yeah, Japan definitely for amenities. Definitely. Well, I guess in his own way, for amenities, definitely the most popular. But uh, there's also France. I guess you go around just eating croissants. I guess. Yeah. So yeah, Europe has a lot of cities in terms of amenities where you can just go and just sit down and relax and eat. You know, they have like dining tables right outside the restaurant. Where you can just sit down and relax. That's another thing I've noticed about like European cities. I don't think I've seen that as much in the Asian cities. I haven't, because in Asian cities there's just people walking. They probably walk and eat. Like in Thailand, they probably just grab like chicken on a stick and they just keep going and going and going. They party a lot over there. Oh wow, they party. They party all night. I guess all these cities party all night. The young people want to get active and whatnot. But yeah, in terms of amenities, they all do it in their own way, right? Japan with their 7-Eleven and their convenience, nice and quiet, 24/7, right? Europe with their dining tables and they dining out and they're eating on. They can not eating on the go. Well, you can, I guess, if you want to, but you can you can just relax and sit down and just enjoy your meal right outside the restaurant or the cafe. I guess in America, it would be like eating at a food court in a mall, right? That's kind of be this. That's probably the most similar comparison to that. Eh, strange, but I mean that's probably the only thing I can think of. But uh, hmm, what else? Bus system, maybe bus system. Ah, there's a lot of countries that have nice bus systems. Again, in terms of electric bus systems, I'd probably have to go China with that one. They got electric buses that are autonomous, right? So there's nobody that drives them. There's no people in them. You can just hop in. Oh wow, nice shot. I thought that was gonna be taken by the goalie, but because he had three defenders there. But nice shot. Was that a lucky shot? Let me see. Is that lucky? Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Nice header. But yeah, like China definitely probably top two, top three for just strictly bus system. There's probably a couple European cities that might be better, but in terms of like electric, definitely China. Like they're going crazy with it. They're like mass funding that. Like in terms of like artificial intelligence, they are like they're going crazy with it. Maybe too crazy. I don't know. To be honest with you, they're going full send. Like autonomous vehicles, and it's a lot cheaper, so it's convenient for the consumer. So there's that too. Bus rides are like what, quarter? Oh no, don't. Oh, oh, oh man, why do you pass it back to me? I was not prepared for that, bro. Damn, I don't know how I didn't get it either. I should have been able to grab that. I save. Okay, you just go ahead. Oh, oh, empty net. Ah, okay. Plenty of time. Plenty of time. I guess I can go like recommendations of people that I watch. Like, oh, in terms of like people that I watch for like information purposes. So I guess a good person for transportation purposes, RM Transit. That guy is so good at transportation videos. Stuff like high speed rail, light rail, trams, trains. Really nice, comprehensive videos. Really goes over everything. Goes over a lot of things. Okay. I don't think he doesn't do YouTube anymore, so which is unfortunate, but 'cause I don't think he does it. No, I don't think he does it anymore. I think he retired from YouTube. There's been a lot of people retiring from YouTube lately in the last couple of years, but or at least doing YouTube like full time the last couple of years, which is unfortunate. But yeah, RM Transit for transportation. I think there's not another person for transportation. Adam. Uh, what? That's crazy. I think I had that. Another YouTube channel. Adam, I think his name is Adam Fisher. Right? Yeah, he's really good too. He lives in Philly, by the way. Shout out to Philadelphia. Shout out to Philadelphia. How about bikes? So bikes, 1,000%. Uh, uh, you orange heads will know this already. Not just bikes, because not only does he talk about bikes and bike riding in Europe, he talks about not just bikes. He covers a lot of transportation, a lot of planning, a lot of walkability purposes. Uh, Design a lot of. He covers a lot. He's not like the expert. He's not an expert, of course, but you don't have to be an expert. I'm certainly not an expert. I just enjoy. I see. I don't understand how that. I did not. I didn't press any button. The ball came to me and left at the same within a split second. I don't know what I did there. Oh, we got time. We got time. Yeah, not just bikes for sure. For honestly, I'd put him as more of like the type of guy that you want to show you the convenience side of things, of how convenient a city can be for the consumer. That's an insane goal. Wow, the pass to yourself. Good job. Great job. Hold on. Great job. Yeah, yeah. He's really good at showing the convenience side of things, and also good at showing the negative externalities and of what you shouldn't do, or and how you shouldn't design. Is in America and in Canada as well. He's Canadian. He's Canadian, so they pretty much design similar way in Canada. A little farther. I think like a another channel just for bikes. I'd say would be Active Towns. They're really good. He's really great. Active Towns. They do more of the. They're gonna go into a city, right? And they're gonna find people that are like advocates for 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 planning decisions and policy changes in their city or in the town. And that's really nice to show people how things can change, right? If you want to be like an advocate for this stuff, this kind of stuff. It's really cool. Active Towns is definitely that kind of YouTuber to show you that things can change. You know, that you can do something to change your environment. You know, he's very good with that. What else? Um, In terms of just like the general, well, I guess it covers. Ugh, wow, that's crazy. I was about to back flip it or back heel it into the net, but goalie got to first. It is. It's fine. Wow, 4:15. I have not slept yet. It's gonna be a long day. Uh, yeah, so I covered. So armed transportation, Adam Fisher also for transportation. So in terms of like convenience and showing like the negative side of things, what you shouldn't do, or whatever. Uh, Not just bikes, right? He also like glorifies a lot of the things that other countries and cities do as well. So that's there's that too. Uh, so who else? Active towns for also showing like the advocacy part of things. Oh yeah, right. So another person to show you the advocacy part. And if you want to be like an advocate yourself, strong towns. That's a really great YouTube channel for that because that's actually founded by the author Charles Marone Jr. Charles Marone Jr. Uh, Transportation engineer, former electrical engineer, right? Or electric engineer turned transportation engineer, or former transportation engineer. Yeah. Uh, yeah. Strong Towns Foundation. They also partner with like firms that do studies on like cities and their expenses, uh, determining whether or not they could do on how they can change things and how they can change their finances. And they recently found, I think the firm they partner with is called Urban Three. I believe that's the firm. I'm not 100% sure. Don't fact check me. If I'm not 100% sure, but they did a study on like Houston, right? And basically showing that researching that Houston is in debt essentially with how they design their city, and they're like in a debt hole, so to speak. Very interesting stuff. And I think Suburban Nation, that book goes into it as well, at least into that side of urban planning research, like researching like the real cost of the suburbs, the infrastructure needed to build the suburbs, where the money comes from in terms of like the tax base of the citizens that live not in the suburbs but in the city, in the outskirts of the city. Very interesting stuff. Hold on. Yeah, let me change the server. Oh crap. Crap. Me let me change the server. Back to automatic. Let me yeah, 3 minutes. Oof. Yeah, yeah. Quick match is a little bit more faster pace. Ranked matches a little bit slower pace. You know, taking time to build things up. But anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, strong towns. That's another good spot for advocacy and just learning stuff, general stuff about urban planning, uh, traffic control, engineering, that's that kind of thing. What else? Hmm. What else? I guess housing, like housing design, architecture. I guess you'd probably have to look somewhere in a. There's this one channel called like classical aesthetic. I think I forgot what it's called. Maybe that's the name. It just talks about like a movement of classical architecture design. Like I think the argument is that they think that the more modern design of housing and urban planning is kind of destroying a lot of areas, you know, not really making things walkable, right? And the design of houses themselves not really looking pretty, I guess, so to speak. But I mean, A home is a home, I guess. At the end of the day, someone's gonna live there. The building, even though like the building itself is modern, it doesn't mean like the environment around it needs to be like modern. You know, the environment can be classical, and the home itself can be modern, or it can have modern like aesthetic to it. But I mean, whatever gets built. But I guess it, depending on who you ask, if people in a certain neighborhood don't want like housing to be built, you gotta have like a good way to convince them. So at least make it look nice, you know, at least. And they might even still, even if it looks nice, they might still say no. These people are called, of course, they're called not in my backyard, NIMBYs for short. But yeah, they've been the bane of a lot of housing initiative existences, so to speak, and zoning ordinances, so to speak. Yeah, gotta convince those people somehow. I mean, in terms of like just convincing people, if you show them like it can work, right, without decreasing their value, so to speak, and the value doesn't. People shouldn't really have to put their whole savings into one property. I mean, it's very risky that way because you can lose it all. Like it's happened already in 2008. You can lose everything, right? So I mean, I think that system itself, having to put your whole life into just a property when you could, the system underneath it could just crumble in a blink of an eye. You know, it's kind of dangerous. But uh, so the value really shouldn't matter. It should just be there for people to have a home. You know, but yeah, if you make it look nice, right, and you can provide amenities in the area, and you can make it walkable, you can make it all these different things. I think people will like it eventually. They'll come around because they're going to have to experience it one way or another, right? And if they experience it and they like the experience, well, they're going to want more of that experience. So then other people uh, will will come from, yeah, from other neighborhoods just for that experience because, well, word of mouth, right? It'll spread like wildfire. Oh, come to this neighborhood. Come to this neighborhood. It's really nice. And then if you have people coming, well, people come with their money, right? And that's how you get a place like Hoboken, New Jersey, where the property values are insane, but it's also walkable, and then there's amenities, and it's nice, and it's convenient, right? So, yeah. But in America, right, places like Southeast Asia, there's, yeah, more affluent neighborhoods, right? But you also have neighborhoods that have all of those same things that are much cheaper to live in and affordable. So, yeah, boom, waboom. Man, I have it on automatic and still 5 minutes, no match. That's kind of crazy. That's insane. Hold on. I guess we're gonna have to try a quick match. I guess to sum it up for like general urban planning purposes, you want an urban planner. So, City Beautiful, amazing channel. Oh, he's been doing it for so. How long has he been doing it? Like a few, he's been doing it for a while, actually. I think I don't know how long he's been doing it. Maybe several years. City Beautiful, fantastic channel. Fantastic. He covers everything. He covers he covers walkability. He does studies with his students. He's a professor as well. He's a college professor. He does studies with his students, urban planning studies. That's amazing. He talks about parking, the cost of parking. He talks about actually I have a book. I think I have a book on the cost of parking. How parking is just not free. It's not free. It really isn't. How car insurance in America probably should be more expensive. He covers so many different things. Oh, City Beautiful is awesome. Please subscribe. Actually, yes, go subscribe to his YouTube channel now if you haven't watched him, or if you don't know about him, and if you're interested or curious in your environment, how stuff gets done. You know how roads get paved, when they get paved, like how somebody designs amenities to be in a certain area rather than in another area. You know what I'm saying? City Beautiful is great for that. You want to really understand and break down what urban planning really is. Yeah. Go to an urban planner, right? And that's what he is. Ooh. Now there is another thing that could. Now there are other channels that cover urban planning, but just in a different style, right? Like in a different format. So there's this game called City Skylines, right? Where I think City Beautiful also plays City Skylines too sometimes, just to show like in another way, visually, the concept of urban planning itself. Right. So City Skylines is basically a game where you can just design your own city. Design your own traffic system. Sidewalks, housing, build your own houses and stuff. You can set up a whole city, right? In many different which ways you want, like European style, American style, Asian style, right? I even think maybe Brazilian style, maybe. I think I'm not sure. I think there's. Oh wait, speaking of South America, I completely forgot about South America. Right, there's one more transportation thing that Armed Transit actually talked about. Their metro lift system, right? I think China has this as well, where you get in this carriage and it's sort of like an elevated uh, rail system. Not elevated rail. It's like a how do I explain this? I forgot what it's called. But basically, you get in it like this cart system, and you're in this box and you're tethered to a wire, and it takes you down a hill or a mountain or something. And it's cool. That's another way that I believe Colombia does it. Actually, I forget what it's called, like Metro Car or something. That's a really nice way of going about it too, in terms of like elevation, a mountain or something. Now, if you don't have elevation, it doesn't make any sense. But well, I guess you could still do it. I don't know. Yeah, I guess I guess you could still do it. Maybe like over a body of water. I think China does it that way. Yeah, like a city like Chongqing, they there might still be some elevation there. Actually, I think Chongqing is built on a mountain too. So yeah, there's definitely elevation there. So yeah, uh, they do it over a body of water, which is cool. Nice view as well. I've been waiting for like 10 minutes. What the heck's? There's nobody on right now. I put it on. Hold on. This is crazy. Nobody for 3v3. Kinda wild. They gotta fix this. At least this side of the game, like the constant waiting. I hope they address it or the net coding. I think Dragon Ball Fighters had this same problem too. Yeah. Boom. Yeah, City Beautiful is great. That's a great YouTube channel for urban planning. Oh, here we go. Finally, I changed it to Europe. What? I changed it to Europe, right? See if we can get a win. One last one. I'll end the stream there. Walk in, goalie. Come on, noob. Send it, send it. Ah, bad pass. More arc. Send it. Nice. Waited to the last second. Spider Man pose. Oh, yeah. Boom. Heck yeah. Now, again, when it comes to urban planning, there is no perfect city, of course. There's some that are better than others, just like anything else. Oh, wow. That's fine. We got plenty of time. We got like 5 minutes. Plenty of time. Always fall. Yeah, never fall for that. Always stay put. I was gonna hit it off the back wall or something. Always try to stay put. I got you. Try to move around. Try to move around, guys. Go off the wall. There you go. Ah, you missed it. Now you got to get back. Now you got to see. Ah, there we go. I got to channel my inner. Oh, he missed it. Wow. That's a good. What are you doing? You guys got to pass it to each other. Oh, come on. Oh my gosh. I press Y and it takes me in another direction. Come on. Yeah, we got this. We're fine. We're fine. That's my bad. I just don't. I should have just stayed put and not moved at all. I still would have. I would have been fine. Oh no. Yeah, score. You should have rainbow. Rainbow over the goalie. Always rainbow over the goalie. There you go. Ah, too far. My bad. My bad. My bad. I'm surprised he didn't pass it to one. Try to keep the ball. Don't keep turning it over. There you go. There you go. Rainbow. Rainbow. No, don't lose it. Ah, man. There you go. Off the wall. Or across it. Okay. Oh, you should have rainbowed. You had a chance. There you go. There you go. You got it. Ah. Now, if you ask me some of the best urban planning cities, in like I guess North America. Oh wow, lucky. Yeah, lucky there. Oh, in like North America, probably there's a few that come to mind. Yes, nice. We're all tied up. We're all notched up. Of course, you have New York. You have like San Francisco and Austin, Texas. Recently has been having some nice, good development too. Let's switch. Let's switch. Let's switch. Let's switch. Yeah, there you go. Attack. Take the game over. Take advantage of your opportunities. Cross it. Pass. Pass. Ah, bad pass. Good pass. The goalie. I thought the goalie was going to get that one. They're not locked in like we are. They're not locked in. Got to be locked in. Birmingham, Alabama is another one too. I think there's a city in South Carolina that's had some good development. All over the country, there's some with good urban planning aspects to them. In terms of like walkability or new transportation initiatives. There's some stuff going on everywhere. Now, the rest of North America, I'd say Montreal is probably a good. Ah, that was a good pass too. That was probably one of the best passes I've ever had right there. Well, probably top five. Top five best pass. Damn. Oh, mine. There you go. Make it 4-2. Yes. We got this. We totally got this. We totally got this. What a way to get a win on the way out. What a way to get a win on the way out. Oh wow. Guess this goalie's not as good. We might be able to get the mercy roll. Hold on. If we hit one more goal, we can end it now. We could totally do that. Oh yeah. Wait. There you go. End it now. Yeah, game over. GG's. Nice. Heck yeah. Nice game. Heck yeah. Good stream. Probably the longest I've ever yapped in one stream, for sure. I'm usually always locked. I'm not, even though I don't play as well. I don't play well. I mean, I'm usually always locked in and not talking that much. But yeah, nice stream. Nice stream. Just remember, please, whatever it is you want to do, whatever it is you want to do, just keep going. This stream is actually really good. uh, Thank you, Light Rope 2. Thank you very much. Whatever it is you want to do, as like an out, I use this as like an outro, whatever. Before you can run, you need to jog. Before you can jog, you need to walk. And before you can walk, you need to take one step, right? Just take a step. Just keep taking your steps and you'll be fine. You keep taking your steps, you'll be able to walk. You keep walking, you'll be able to jog. You keep jogging, you'll be able to run eventually. And then boom, you can run as much as you want and run as far as you want and as fast as you want. Okay? You have a good one. Safe travels.